Most days or weeks, I've got several decisions to make that might require a little bit of thought, ranging through to a lot of thought and considerable research. So that might be things like where to host a video series about how to use Claude, or it could perhaps be a massive proposal that needs review in an area that you're not an expert. Historically, that would have been lots of Googling and lots of research, and this sort of back and forth conversation where you're not producing lots of documents yourself, but really going through a thought process and trying to find some answers, and sometimes guided answers. That's where Claude Chat really shines. So let's just dive over into my own Claude and look at a couple of real examples. Let's look at a couple of examples of the, say, micro research. The first one, I'm not going to labor the point of what I've written, but what's happened here is I've been served a Facebook ad making all sorts of claims about tooth repair.
First researched by NASA to combat bone density loss in astronauts, then adopted by the Japanese government.
And just as a little bit of critical thinking, I'm thinking, does that really work? So I've researched this magic ingredient that they talked about, and I've got more than just a yes or no back. I've got a little bit of actual research, and that's a one-turn question and answer type chat. It's very throwaway, and I use Claude Chat for this all the time, maybe sometimes one or two more clarifying questions. The second thing I wanted to look at was a little bit more perhaps valuable and a little bit more real world to my business use case. And that's the example I used at the start of trying to decide which platform is appropriate to host a fully blown course that runs from end to end about how to use Claude. And in my head, because I'm familiar with Udemy, I started with that platform, but I'm also asking about alternatives. I won't read the chat output here, but you can see that in, I think, 3 or 4 turns where I've just sort of asked about Udemy, I've got a bit of information back and some alternatives provided back from Claude. I've then asked it to dig further into those alternatives and a little bit more specifics on the details. The conversation's really been driven here. And then I think I have 2 more turns. And ultimately, it seems that I've decided here that Thinkific is probably going to be the right fit for me. So I will need to do some final validation before I actually come to upload that course. But the point is here that this sort of micro research and back and forth where we've not created any documents, but I've sort of banked some knowledge is really what we want to be using this chat window for. So the final practical example is just taking something off my existing to-do list that I'm procrastinating on because it would typically take me hours to do. Now, in my case, this is going to be to review a solar proposal for a chicken farm that I happen to be a director of. The proposal is about 20 pages long and contains a lot of technical information in an area, which is solar, that I'm not really an expert in. Let's dive over into my Claude and we'll just jump right in. So I could just drag and drop the file. In fact, I'll do that. I'm going to drag and drop the file into the chat window here. So it has my proposal, and I'm going to go ahead and give Claude a prompt. I'm not going to read that verbatim right now because we'll get into what a prompt should contain a little bit later in this video. But I'm basically asking for it to review the proposal and the companies involved. Cool. So that's the way doing its research. It's probably going to take a few minutes. So we'll just speed this along and I'll catch you on the other side. Okay. So Claude's finished doing its research and it took about 2 or 3 minutes. Now, if I just go back up to the top of its response, I'm not going to read it to you verbatim because the point of this is just to give you an idea of something you can do and hopefully inspire something from your own task list to do. But I want to point out what a great job it's done of the research. So as per my request, it's done some research on the reputation of the businesses involved. It's looked at the stack up of the proposal itself. It's summarized a bunch of red flags. So this creates the next section of work for me, which is to go back to the vendors and ask these questions of them, and some other recommendations like getting some other quotes from competitors. Hopefully that gives you an idea on the sort of more in-depth research that you can achieve without you needing to be creating documents. This is still very much a back and forth chat and research and thinking partner. So what should you include in these chat messages, aka prompts to Claude or any AI tool? Now, I hate the term prompt engineering because it implies that there's some special kind of like coding type language that you need to learn to be able to talk to these models. Now, for me, truthfully, these are natural language models and we should be able to naturally talk to them. That being said, we still need to learn basic communication as if we would in any business. So if you were delegating a task to a colleague, imagine that colleague's a brand new hire. You need to tell them what you want from the task and give them all of the relevant context, whether that be about your business or about perhaps the branding colors that you use, and maybe the places that they need to go for information. Let's take a look at the prompt I just gave Claude, which is basically I'm delegating this task in reviewing a solar proposal. The rest of it is context. So the document itself is the heavy lifting of the context, but I've also given it the things that I have learned to help cut to the chase about what I want from its research. So I already know that blackcurrant and farmlands have gone into ventureship, and I want to understand the specific things. So the reputation of the businesses, because I've heard of farmlands before, they're a household name in New Zealand, but I'd never heard of blackcurrant before. And I want it to point out any red flags or anything probably that I am going to miss, which it's done a great job. So in essence, what you want to put in is the what you want and the context. And then you get extra points if you do include the output or how you want the information back to you. But in my experience, I generally have the conversation. And when the conversation's arrived at a point where the information I think is about right, then I'll ask for the output in the format that I feel is best at that point. And that might be something you learn organically. But if we fast forward to the bottom of the conversation we previously looked at, I've just simply added the output type that I want as tables bracket S, and Claude has inferred that that should be divided up into several different tables based on the area of research. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight and something to start practicing with in the way that you have conversations with Claude, and helps you with these 3 and 4 turn micro research type tasks. Before we just move on from the chat interface, I wanted to have a quick review of some of this stuff you can see down here. Some of it's obvious, like the new chat, and then along the top, this is recently changed in the GUI. We've got chat and co-work, and in the coming modules, I'm going to explain in detail when to use chat, when to use co-work, when to use projects, and we'll have our own dedicated modules for us, your organization. So the other things that are in here, I'll quickly touch on artifacts and what they are. So we can actually go in here and just start to create an artifact. But for the most part, they'll appear naturally in your organic conversations. When Claude wants to create a document for you, or perhaps a web page or a snippet of code, those are artifacts, and they're typically viewable inline in your conversations. They'll render over in the right-hand side in a preview window. They're not stored on your local file system. And the other thing which is obvious down here is all the history of my chat. And I strongly encourage, especially if you think that you're going to come back to chats, to click on the ellipsis here, and you can rename those chats so they're more meaningful to you. And if it's something that you really think you're going to revisit, you can drag it from a recent chat up into the pinned chat, making it easy for you to reference later. So now I've had like a pretty good review of the main chat window. There's 3 habits I want you to take from those discussions. The first thing is, if you have any task that's going to take you more than a minute or 2 of, let's say, writing, researching, structuring, reviewing, or deciding, ask yourself if Claude can help assist you with that task. And that's the key. You're not getting Claude to do the whole thing. It's assisting you to make that task either easier or faster or better, or all of the above. The second thing I want you to try and get in the habit of doing is naming your chats, especially if you think you're going to come back to it. Claude does dynamically name the chat, but that name is based on your very first message. If the chat has gone back and forth a bunch of times and is sort of organically turned into something else, that original name won't be correct. And then finally, again, if you think you're ever going to come back to it, remember to pin your chats into the quick access section on the left. Do those things, just get in those habits, and that's going to help you use Claude more efficiently. Final thing for this video is I want you to actually undertake a practical task yourself. So whether that be a decision that you need to have a little bit of a thought partner to help you decide, or whether it's a big document that you need to review, or maybe you have existing documents that could just simply be improved within your business. One way or another, when this video finishes, I want you to identify a task, open Claude, and do that task right now. And if you've got no tasks, maybe think of a task that you have just recently done that took you time, and just redo it with Claude. I promise you it will be a lot faster, and you might be surprised at how much better your output actually is. So that's it for this one. If you're still with me, thank you so much for staying to the end. If you could just take a moment to like or subscribe, that would be a massive help to me, especially if you're into sort of no BS, no hype advice, practical use case for business adoption of AI. Until the next one, have a good one.